He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This one's wife. On the shrooms, but still no business inside. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Episode 5 of This One's Wife's Boring podcast appeared. Another tranche of Confessions of a Female Founder. I have not wasted a single second of my time listening to any of the episodes, and I will not do so. Instead, I'll take the information from mainstream media and the reporters that have had to endure the fridge magnet platitudes, word salad, and vocal fry of this one's wife. This week's episode features Hannah Mendoza, who you may recall is the founder of Clever Blends. Yes, this one's wife made an investment in Clever Blends, which means that she then pulls on that particular strand to persuade Hannah Mendoza to undertake an interview with her. Now, Clever Blends is not exactly a heavy-hitting organisation. It has been in existence for 7 years, so quite a lot longer than this one's wife's own brand. It's a private company. It employs just 10 people, and it has 3 investors. The 3 investors are Air Venture Partners, who are venture capitalists. They have a minority holding. Selva Ventures, who are also venture capitalists, and this one's wife, who is an angel investor. She also holds a minority shareholding. The funding that was raised for Clever Blends was $2.78 million. And therefore, if you assume, and this is entirely speculative, but if you assume that all of the investors put in an equal amount, this one's wife invested less than $1 million in this enterprise. I suspect that the venture capitalists are the ones that have contributed the most, and therefore this one's wife's contribution is fairly small. Nevertheless, she likes to talk about being an investor, which she is. That is accurate, but it's hardly on the scale that she would want you to understand. Accordingly, this one's wife is essentially promoting a brand into which she's invested, which seems like a little bit of a conflict of interest, really, in having the individual as a guest, not something that's going to concern a narcissist, of course. What do we glean from this particular episode? Well, unsurprisingly, you don't get any proper business insight. This won't come as a surprise. It's very much the norm with this execrable podcast. We're told that Hannah Mendoza moved from the United Kingdom to the United States. So this one's wife spoke about when she moved from the United Kingdom to the United States, engaging in some mirroring, and not particularly interesting. Mendoza's recollections basically turn around coming to the United States as an 18-year-old and a student and basically hanging out with people who've got armpit hair. No, I kid you not, that's what was mentioned. Mendoza explained to us some of her brilliant business practices, which was, in the early days, she bought cookies from Costco and then she resold them with whipped cream on top. That must be the inspiration for this one's wife buying other people's products and then moving them from one bag to another, passing them off as something that she's created herself. We learn that when Mendoza landed at LAX, she was listening to Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. So this one's wife explained that when she was back and forth between Los Angeles and Vancouver filming Suits, she heard Joni Mitchell's California, I'm Coming Home in her head. Absolutely brutally fascinating, isn't it? We also learn that this one's wife turned to an Ayurvedic doctor when she was pregnant with Archie and Lilibet. Now, this is the first time this disclosure has been mentioned, and she apparently used adaptogens, such as mushrooms. It's unclear which one she used, and there are the psychedelic connotations also. She explained, so there are these items and ingredients that have been part of our natural ecosystem and dietary system for a long time, whether acknowledged or not, that somehow you say mushrooms, and now people have a connotation attached to it, she said. But it's really just a food trend that I believe you were far ahead of in terms of saying, hold on, these have properties that can in some way make you feel differently in a really safe way. During my pregnancies, I had an Ayurvedic doctor, and so much of it was about seeing food as medicine. Thus, this one's wife's been on the Shrooms. We don't know which ones they were, and therefore whether it was safe for her to take them or not. But this is the latest revelation, linked, of course, to her pregnancies, which she never, ever mentioned before. We then get to find out that she learned how to deal with tough days. What she had to say about this was the safety of stream of consciousness with someone who understands it. That is part of that sisterhood and that understanding of, okay, every day is not going to be the same. Some days are going to be harder to show up as your best and shiniest self. Maybe on that day, something really painful happened in your real life, but for your team, that is not how you show up. You can't. Well, more word salad, totally dull, utilising that phrase of hers, show up, but it doesn't tell us anything meaningful. She then explained that she experienced self-doubt. This one's wife doesn't experience self-doubt. Her narcissism prevents her from doing so. What she will do, however, is when she's talking to other people, make it seem like she suffers self-doubt. The reason being, she wants to appear relatable, and furthermore, she does it in a slight pity play way. Feel sorry for me. I get doubts and insecurities too. It's a load of bollocks. It's another manipulative move on the part of this one's wife. She explained, even for me, as I look at everything that I'm working on, building with the team, and it's a very large team, ooh, get me, get on the calls and have the meetings, and same thing, cheerleader. But I had a moment last week where I thought, oh my gosh, who can I ladder up to? What? Are you a fucking window cleaner now? I made a phone call and I said, is this going to work? Is this actually going to work? But I had that self-doubt. You can't bring self-doubt to your team that's junior to you. They have to believe in, as you said, what you're creating and the vision and how you hold the line. But you still have to be able to have someone who you can go to be human and say, I don't know, can you just tell me that this makes sense? And thankfully my partner said, are you joking? We're so energized. This is amazing. But I did. I got into that same headspace that any of us can, because some might look at it and say, at least for me, it will have so much exposure. Whatever I put out in the world will have so much attention. Like, well, yeah, and there's a flip side to that coin, which we know it's a microscope that a lot of people don't have to experience. If you've any idea what she's talking about, feel free to email me. I might read it. I might not. But once again, it's a stream of nonsense that is being put forward by this one's wife, that she once again makes it seem like she has self-doubt, but she worked it out and everything was okay, that she somehow overcame it and it's all right. It doesn't give you any actual detail about how she handles business, because she never has done so, because she set up a Potemkin company, as I've explained elsewhere. We also learned about her decision to invest in Clever, where she explained, the funniest thing about it is I had never invested in something before. You saw me when I was very pregnant, and my friend sent over this gift basket filled with an assortment of products that he thought I would like. One of the things within this big basket was this product. I said, turmeric latte, and just add water. Okay, I tried it, and I looked at the back. I said, who is this person? What is this company? It's so bizarre because I didn't have a portfolio at that time. I didn't have a roster of female founders that I invested in. It was the first and truly organic, all puns intended, experience of looking at something and saying, I want to support this. I was watching a lot of Shark Tank at the time, and I said, this is not Shark Tank. Think of this as Dolphin Tank. These are very friendly waters. It's tedious, isn't it? Absolutely tedious. No meaningful insight, no observations that carry any weight, but just the marshmallow mind of the Duchess of Industrial Beige wanking on about what was going through that empty space between her ears when she received a gift which included clever blends. She tells us about the fact that she shared the product with Oprah Winfrey, which of course got added attention for it. And we also got her talking a little bit about as ever. Yes. Now are we finally going to find out something in respect of the business? Well, she said, when I think about big milestones for my own business, what big milestones? You haven't fucking sold anything. You haven't made any profit. You haven't got beyond a threshold in relation to turnover. There are no milestones. But of course, this is the usual grandiosity that one would expect from this one's wife. She explained, Netflix coming on as my business partner is huge. Just having a global powerhouse that believed in me, of course, it has to be about you, and the site selling out in the first 45 minutes of launch, well, we all know that was manufactured. Everything, every single piece that we had been working on, that told me that customers, people, believed in me and this vision. That's all you really want as a founder. That becomes your proof point that those late nights and the midnight musings are worth it. This one's wife also spoke about waking up in the middle of the night, not needing a wee, but thinking about a problem, saying, oh my gosh, one day I just need to write an entire thing called 3 a.m. musings. Don't. The things I wake up and write down at 3 a.m. in the morning. Well, again, notice the self-absorbed nature of this narcissist. What I think about at 3 a.m. in the morning, everybody's going to be interested in. I should write it down and make a book out of it. No, you shouldn't, because you don't have any meaningful or original thoughts. You are just a parasite that copies other people. And the fact is, Netflix have only been involved in your business because they're trying to save it some face and to avoid you suing them. And to suggest once again that people believe in you. Who does? Nobody does. Your business is shit. It hasn't sold anything. It's not done anything. It's just a shop front that you're hoping that someone will come in and scoop up. It's been available now for something like 6 weeks and it's still sold out. That's not how you run a business. It's how you go into liquidation. But we all know this one's wife. You're just playing at running a business. In the same way that you play at being a business entrepreneur. And that was the sum total of what was reported via the Daily Mail in respect of her 5th episode of Confessions of a Female Founder. Mirroring, self-absorption, bullshit, revision of histories, anything about business per se? No. Any meaningful insights? No. Any revelations about how to found a business? No. Hannah Mendoza, who basically came from a well-off family, got some seed funding, which included an angel investment, though not a particularly large one, from this one's wife, sits there and basically seeks to promote her product as this one's wife seeks to promote it so she gets a return on her investment. Absolutely fascinating, not at all. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.